Good afternoon, hello. Welcome to 4 p.m. everyone. My name is Dean Stevenson, and I presented this idea to Mona 433 days ago that I would write new music each day here in the Nolan Gallery at this piano, and at 4 p.m. there would be a crowd to come and hear it played, so it's a new piece, and there will be a string quartet arrive every day, and they haven't seen it yet, so they're just looking at the piece now, making notes. Well, they're already touching their pencils. Look at that, they're already making notes. There is a drinking game here at 4 p.m. It's a fun game. Orchestral musicians of this caliber like to make notes on their page. They're all about scribbling cues and big things for the... notes, see, they love pencils. So if you choose any one of these four musicians in this string quartet, each time they touch their pencil, have a drink. It's a fun game. It'll make the next 20 minutes really cool. So please thank and welcome the string quartet for today. We have Natalia, Fran, Will and Martin. So the common questions, the questions people always ask, and we'll have a little Q&A in a bit, you can ask questions, but I'll get to the point. Almost always a string quartet, because my challenge is to make those instruments fresh and new every day. Not the same musicians, but regular offenders. Have they seen the music before? No. We haven't played, I have no idea what it sounds like. It's a mysterious thing today, we'll find out. Yes, 433 days as of today. Yes, I'm an idiot. Who would do that? If you're wondering where the drinks are, under the stairs there's a bar. What else would you like to know before we start? Why? Yeah, what a dickhead. Why? Why would you do this, Dean? Well, I'm fascinated by the conversation about creativity and about how much courage one needs to start, how much of an idea you need before you start, and what starting and finishing looks like, and what just showing up and making a whole 433 days of, well, not all shit, but some of them are. Some of them were terrible. We had one a few weeks ago, which was just awful, and that's okay. That's my rub, to present awful things to you some days, and the muse's not with me, whatever. And we finished our little rehearsal, and I turned around to say, what do you think of that? And fuck, they're all gone. They were just like, it was so bad, people left and caught the ferry. Hopefully today's not like that. So we're going to have a rehearsal now. We're going to stop and start. The musicians will ask questions. I'll touch their pencils. You'll have a drink, and I'll talk about it. If you see this screen here, you can see the score that I've been working on today. That'll whiz by as we work. If you can't see the screen, there's a paper copy, but don't take that home. Men in Black will follow you home if you take that. Let's go on day 433. Now, hello. Okay. So Mysterioso, very kind of mysterious. Yes, it's my favourite thing to say about mysterious pieces is, it's a middle movement. Yes. Okay, so very, very high and shimmery in the violin, super high, and I have this kind of pitsing, random, it sounds random, but it's not. And then there's a melody, beautiful melody in the viola. I've decided to not put you in mute at the moment, but maybe we'll have a think about that. Let's just hear this shimmer I want to hear. 1, 2. Oh, that's A in there. That's it. That was A there. E. Sorry.
Oh, God, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It says right there in the music.
Yeah, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Cool, nice. Might take a touch slower, I think, for the effect. Let's go again. Nice. If you're now hearing things and you go, I've always wanted to ask a composer or a cellist or something a question. If you've never seen a string quartet before, this is what they look like. It's a standard string quartet. So think of questions. Top again. 1, 2. Very shimmery. Massive vibrato. That's it, yes. I started with an octatonic scale. That was my limit. That's why it sounds weird. But it will find its place. Here's letter A and A. Yeah. B. C. D. Oh, the bond chord. Is E. F. Yes. G. Hold there, hold there. Wow. Sight reading, beautiful. Worth an applause, I think. Sight reading. So, like to play the dots is one thing. We you know, there are lots of people who can just read the dots, but to give it what they just gave it, that's something else. Oh, my goodness me. And it's, I mean, another question people ask, what was your inspiration, Dean? My inspiration was the melody of the viola. I wasn't thinking about someone, you know, a war or a dead person or a waving grass or Jane Austen or my grandmother. I wasn't thinking about any of that. It was literally just the notes that led me in that direction. So let's have a think about what this is evoking. Tell me where you are, what it brings to your mind. Any questions? Okay. Any questions? Beautiful. Beautiful, thank you.
Yeah, just there's Barnum's, aren't there? Bar 70.
17?
17.
70.
That is that the only time that you haven't slurred the beat? Is it just because it goes across the stave there? The theme. This is separate. It's the only time it's separate.
70, 70?
Yes. 70. I think the Barnum's. No, God, sorry, they're above the bars, not below. Okay. Let's try 63.
63.
Yeah.
63. Oh yes.
This. All the others are slurred.
Ah, same as before.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Same as before. What do you reckon? What would it sound like if you were mute as well?
Sure.
Can we try that?
Yep.
So there's a little thing they put on there on the bridge. Thank you. Long day. Which it says mute, and that's what it does. But it's not just making it quieter. It's a textural thing. Let's see what the mute sounds like. Maybe from F. No, third of F.
Third of.
Third
Oh,
of,
yeah, okay.
Yep. Third of F. Hold there. What do you think? What do you think? Mute? Yes? No? Hands up, yeah. Hands up, nah, I prefer the other one.
The viola's muted enough.
You watch it, in a couple of weeks I've got an accordion coming in, so it's a slippery slope to banjo after that. Fucking hell. Mute off, I think. Mute off.
Yep. Good.
Good. That was very nice. Now let's go from any questions about that. The shimmer is great. Letting this happen here, the chase between these two. Very nice. Will on the viola, very nice. Let's go from H. E, O. Now here we go. 1, 2, 3. J. Yep. Again. Good. Before we go on, so the little 680 da beep ba bum. Give them a little nudge for you. Yep. And bars, 79, 80, expressive, be all schmaltzy with those express. That's what expression looks like, written by a doctor. Okay, now at K there's a G and then it's handed over to an F sharp over here. So it's a tenuous little handover. So we'll go bar before K. Oh, do you want to?
Bar before K.
Bar before K?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now the violin has that melody or a derivation of that the viola had. Now enough time, we'll pause here because you need enough time to get the mutes off. Now, it's a Pitts upbeat into L on cello, and our tempo is up a bit, still in the 4 count.
Crotchet, yeah,
Has anybody thought of a question? Is anybody confused? If you're just going, what the fuck? I thought it was going to be a funk band. Is anybody got any? No? No? Are there any lyrics? No, that was yesterday. Sorry, you're a day late. What's it all about? I did have a grumpy man, a very grumpy man yesterday morning. I didn't say this yesterday because he might have still been here and got extra grumpy. It was like 10:15 in the morning. Guess when I start writing? 10 o'clock when the museum opens. It's 10:15. This guy, he says, "What are you supposed to be doing?" Like doing, emphasis on doing. What are you supposed to be doing? And I turned around. There's this frowny man looking at me like, "What's he doing?" He was looking for the art and he couldn't find it. All right, letter L. Up it into L. To U. Hold there, very nice. Now, the notes that I've written are, the first two notes in the L, only just play those the second time, you got that one?
Yep.
So, 8 VA, up the octave, second time only.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
as written first time,
Yes.
and then only up higher second time. Does that make sense for you, Fran? Bar 101, if you can just do that A with the play the A string with a D, high D, first time.
2 octaves above that one.
Yeah.
I've written 15.
No, sorry. Open A and then up to D string.
What? D? Yeah.
Yep, that D. The D written.
But
A.
it's a, what does it, oh, sorry.
The one in brackets is the one to play second time. You're going to do double stop A and the D above middle C the
Right.
second time.
What's the 15 and B? Sorry.
Oh, that's in relation to the D. So second time sorry, ignore that.
Right.
First time you're playing A with
Just
the high
A,
D.
yeah.
Second time A with the low D.
Oh, okay. Great.
Right. Great. And let's go from L again, up into L.
First time.
First time. Oh, let's go from N first time, E, N, how? N, 2 bars for the repeat. B, oh. And back. Dogs in the neighbourhood are going crazy. All right, now that was the last bar. So we got to the end of the piece. Thank you. All right, now more notes, more touching pencils, more drinking, and then we'll play the piece all the way through. Has anybody thought of a question yet? Apart from, no, I'll give them, you think of the lyrics. It could be for a problem there, yes? How has the last 430 days changed my practice, or just my brain and life in general? Fuck. Yeah. My practice. So if you do anything a lot, you get better at that thing. Whether it's growing daffodils, or sketching pictures of your mum, or being an asshole. The more you do it, the better you get at that thing. So be careful what you do a lot. So I think, obviously my practice, I guess, has sharpened. What I thought was a cool tune on day one or the first 50, I probably wouldn't think is cool anymore. This is a very particular practice because it's 10 a.m. till 4, so it's squashed and it's truncated. So I'm not good at writing pieces, the long pieces. Probably I could say that. I'm good at writing shorter ones because that's what I'm doing here. So it's limiting what I do, but it allows me this conversation about creativity. So yeah, I guess my practice has probably got a lot better, inevitably.
We've talked about this before. I think in the range of abilities, when you're at your best, maybe that goes up slowly, but the bottom range, the bottom standard goes up a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did you hear that? Yeah. So my shit is a lot less shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot less shit.
It's a lot less shit.
Yeah, and the good ones only just sort of creeping up a little bit, but there's much less really smelly ones. Yes. Yes.
Do you find that the end of the songs end up
Yeah. The endings are always different because of. I think if I had more time, I'd sort of like, I think the planning, the leaving, the dropping, the phrase. But sometimes I get to the end of the day and I'm going, oh shit, the musicians are here. That'll do. And I've finished in a different key, I've finished somewhere off where it didn't resolve, I got no idea what I'm doing. And other days are a real have a banana kind of end and they're really obvious. So it depends what kind of music I'm writing. And so what I will do, The first 150 days of this installation were very interesting in a bunch of ways. That's what the book is about. I kept a journal for 150 days. It's not about music theory, it's the act of showing up and being creative for 150 days. And I made a deal with myself in this particular instance to basically leave every prior day behind and carry nothing over. So I killed every child I had for 150 days, which is really hard for the brain to do, because like, that's really, you just have to leave it. Whereas this time, there's this little viola melody from a few days ago. I've carried it across because I want to be able to, deepen, develop, have better endings, and all that. So I am doing that now, and I think that's helping my mental direction a lot. Because you shouldn't kill your kids. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, but a lot of people do. Or you have an idea, and you fill drawers with them. I think rather than going, I haven't got enough time, or whatever, or there's a whole bunch of reasons why people don't create, or you only do it once in a while. The two reasons are this, I reckon, the most common reasons. One is you go, let's say you're a poet, or a painter, or a sketcher, and you go, I don't know what to do, so I'll just go on Instagram until I come up with an idea. And you'll wait for a very complete vision, a very complete idea to land before you start, because you want to know what it's about, you want to know where it's going, and you want to be able to show your friends with pride that you've got this completeness. The trouble is that it might only happen, once a year or less, so you just don't do anything of significance to yourself. It's much less about that kind of irksome display of you to you. It's more about, I don't have an idea. The other thing is you probably did something and you thought you nailed it years ago, and you've been so shit scared to try it again. You made a sketch that was so good, and you think, if I try another one, I might not be as good. I don't want to burst my ego bubble, so I won't even try. Whereas I made a deal that I would just show up and show you every piece of rubbish that I make, and we'd talk about it. And write a book and make some recordings and stuff. But that what Will was talking about is the good stuff. Yes, the bottom does come up, but I still think that most artists would think that there's still only maybe a 10% of what they do which is worth going, that's mine, name on it, the rest of it's like, whatever, you're giving me money, okay, take it away. So we make albums here. There's 3 volumes of favourites here, which is, about 11% I think has made the albums, or made the short list of our favourites, the days where we go, yeah, we're great, woo! And then we go to a studio and record them. So you can get them here on downloads or CDs. But it's always a narrow percentage of real hero pieces. Let's play today all the way through. Let's do it. Day 433. Okay, you ready? I'll mute on, yes. It's going to be easier, isn't it? Natalia, Fran, Will, Martin, thank you so much. Do you reckon you could do that without me?
We can try.
You can give it a go.
Give it a go. Give it a red hot go.
What happens at
Okay, so lots of cues. Usually it gets a lot better because then I'm not a conductor. I just wave a stupid pencil. That's all I do. I'm a distraction. Come and talk to me here if you want to talk about the book or the recordings. You can buy them here or upstairs. And these guys are now going to do it by themselves. Let's see. Oh, by the way, did anyone think about what it evoked? Where were you? Were you like... What was happening? Were you at a funeral? Were you in bed?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, no? Under the water?
That's all.
Have you got full speed?
Yes.
Oh.
We can always do something.
I'll try to.
It'll be fine. Or wait,
Okay. Oh, yes.
Thank you so much. New music. Natalia, Fran, Will, Martin. I'm Dean Stevenson. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Have a lovely weekend.